Hello, Plexus Freedom Team. It has been a minute since I popped on here, but I've had this idea rolling around in my head for a little while, and I wanted to share it with you. And it's especially for those newbies out there. If you've just joined, if you've just started taking the business seriously, I really want to speak to you on this. Because as a new business owner with no experience, I was like, how the heck are you guys managing all this in your head? How are you spending your time? What are you doing? What are you prioritizing? What does a business day look like for you? So I put it down on paper. So if you see me looking over here, it's because I have some notes, but I wanted to share with you what my schedule looks like when I'm working my business. If this was a perfect Plexus week, this is how I spend my time. Is every week a perfect Plexus week? Absolutely not. This is real life, and that's the beauty of it, is that it's flexible. But having a plan in place makes it a whole lot easier to shuffle things around and still get what needs done. Okay? So let me just jump right in, now that I've given everybody a little bit of time to hop on. So Monday through Friday, I like to spend my mornings on power hour. So I'll either do a 9 to 10 or a 10 to 11 a.m., depending on when I need to get my day started. Since we started boot camp, there's even more and more power hours available, starting before the sun's up, when the sun's coming up, and there's just pretty much power hours around the clock. So it's about finding what's good for you. So I start my day with power hour, and during that time, I focus on my IPA. And when I say IPA, I'm talking about using the 4 Pillars follow-up sheet that I believe Emily Haas made, and it's in our units or guides or somewhere in the page. And so through that, I work through that, and I do, a post for the day on my feed and on my stories, my new contacts, my follow-ups. I touch base with people on their birthdays, stay in contact with 1 to 2 of my business builders every single day, 1 to 2 of my active product users, reaching back out to 1 to 2 inactive product users, checking the perks report, checking subscriptions, making sure that there haven't been any credit card declines or people with partial PV or, missing part of their order, whatever that might look like. I make sure to use retention system with any new joins that I'm working through for the month, and interact with business builders, hop on a coaching call or 2, whatever that might look like for the day. I'm going down and I'm literally checking those boxes as I go. The more the better, right? But the pillars are always the most important, but I almost never ever neglect, a post, new contacts, and follow-ups. Those are non-negotiable. And so what do those mean? Okay, so if you're new here, like I said, this is for you. New contacts are people that I normally start with people I've added recently, because I have made contact with pretty much everybody on my friends list. So I'm really working through those new people and going back to my chicken listers that I might have neglected the first time around. But I'm reaching out about Plexus. I start using Christina's follow-up video. That's how I'm doing my follow-ups as well, is just following that system. And when people do respond, I write their names in to the next time I want to contact them. That way they don't fall in between the cracks. And then each time I post, for a long time I was just focusing on one topic per week. So maybe you post about sleep for a week, what that looks like for you, how Plexus has helped with it, what was before and what was after, all sorts of those things. And since starting the story brand, my posting has shifted a little bit, but it's always a good idea to fall back on, because it's like putting blinders on, right? It makes it easy to focus, it quiets the noise, and it helps me be productive and be efficient. I typically work like 5.5-day weeks. So on Saturdays, I make sure to follow up with everybody throughout the week and stay up to date on my messages, not letting those sit in the inbox too long. And I keep my stories going throughout the weekend and really focus on personal connections and sharing my personal life at that time to really deepen relationships and, build my brand. On Sundays, I rest and focus on family times. I really, do not ever really work on Sundays. This is a little exception, like I said. Not every week is a perfect Plexus week. Sometimes the days get shifted around. But I've also found that a question that rolled around in my head as a new business builder was, how the heck do you keep up with all these messages? Like, especially right now with doing boot camp, if you're doing 50 new and 50 follow-up a week, or right now it's 25 and 75, how the heck do you keep up with those messages and still have a life, right? For me, that means setting aside time where I go into my inbox and I get back to those people. If I sat and just responded to a message every time it came into my phone throughout the day, I wouldn't get a darn thing done. So instead, I set aside little windows of time. An example in my life is when I'm at the gym and lifting, I reply to 1 to 2 messages between every set. And so if I do 5 exercises and 3 sets each, I'm knocking out a ton of messages in that time, and it's not extending my workout. It's not wasting time in any way. Typically, I try to check back to any urgent messages at night. I always make it a point to look for messages from my leaders and builders throughout the day. And for building myself up, I always try to listen to or watch a video or podcast or read a book chapter every single day. Because if you're not pouring into your cup, you can't pour into others, right? A few other things. On Mondays and Thursdays, our team calls are non-negotiable. So if you are gold and above, there are specific coaching calls that are available to you. If you don't know what those are, get a hold of your upline and they'll help you out. So those are at, I think, 8 o'clock, at least the gold, senior gold is. Monday Night Live, non-negotiable. And book study, also non-negotiable. And if you're not part of it, you can jump in halfway. You will still get so much out of it, and you can catch up throughout the week. Also, one last thing before I let you guys go. If there is an event within driving distance of wherever you are, get there. Because those will build your belief. They will give you excitement, which will provide you with momentum, or I guess motivation might be a better word, right? Respark that flame. And it's a great way to connect with other people in your area that are doing this too. You have no idea who you'll meet, and it's always fun to meet the leaders that put those events on for us. And leaders are made at events. They can't, if you want to go to the top, you need to invest in your business and you need to get to those. So that's all I have. I don't want to keep you guys any longer. I hope this helped. Have a great Sunday and good luck if you're a football fan.